Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome.
Hi guys, my name is Rajas and welcome to my senior project about virtual reality. With me, I have my friend Mithab, who's my friend and a VR expert.
Hi, my name is Mithab and I am a VR enthusiast and I've been playing VR since 2017 during the start of VR.
Believe it or not, virtual reality has been around for nearly 100 years in concept, whether for training, entertainment, or fiction. Humans have dreamed about leaving the restrictions of reality behind to find greener pastures on the virtual side. However, VR is reaching its peak year by year and becoming more commercially viable. While the industry has had its fair share of ups and downs and surges of popularity over time, now more than ever the typical idea of total escapism becomes more real. Some basic questions we'll be answering are like, what was the beginning of modern VR, what it's currently, and what would be the future of VR? What was modern VR like? During 2016, there were two big leaders in the VR marketplace, HTC and Oculus. During that time, Oculus had low-end VR hardware while HTC was miles ahead of Oculus. Oculus users who bought the Oculus DK1 headset were limited to seated VR, while the HTC Vive users had their freedom of Lighthouse tracked VR, which allowed users to walk around their play space and feel fully immersed. If you talk to a VR enthusiast, the classic saying of "you get what you paid for" was thrown around since Oculus was cheaper than HTC's. However, during 2017, things began to change. During this time, streaming hardware surveys showed HTC Vive as the most used headset, but Oculus and their Rift lineup were slowly moving upwards as their touch controllers were much more modern and easy to hold compared to the ones from HTC. We began to bring more enthusiasts into the Oculus side of VR. In 2018, there was a giant shift in dominance over the virtual reality marketplace with Oculus and HTC. As a giant price slash for the Rift brought the headset and touch controller bundle down to just $400, which was now $200 cheaper than the HTC Vive headset, the controller bundle, all the while Oculus exclusive titles were growing massively. At this time, the Rift began to be known as a similarly capable headset to the Vive, but cheaper and has exclusive content. 2018 was the year Oculus beat out HTC in terms of active headset and stream VR, effectively ending HTC's reign on market share of VR. There were other VR headset creators such as Pimax and Microsoft with their Windows Max mixed reality, but they fell short because Microsoft had a terrible tracking system and Pimax was guided towards more of a niche audience that wanted 8K resolution headsets, which just alone cost around $2,000. To this day, Oculus still holds a greater hold of the VR marketplace due to the partnership with Facebook. During that time, HTC slowly drifted away from the consumer side of virtual reality and leaned more towards the business-oriented virtual reality, alongside BMW, Bugatti, and even with hospitals and with police and military training. Oculus later introduces their first standalone VR headset, the Oculus Quest 1. This headset required no PC and no additional sensors, as all the tracking was done by the 4 cameras on the headset, which tracked your position in your room and the control movements, all for the low price for just $400. This marketed a huge step up for the virtual reality industry going forward, as it was easily getting people into virtual reality like crazy. This leads us on to our next question. What is virtual reality like now? Well, believe it or not, VR has gotten insanely advanced. During 2019, Valve broke its partnership with HTC and created their own high-end VR headset. Although it was $1,000, it boosted high resolution and was capable of displaying 144 Hz at a resolution of 1440 times 1600 per eye, which allowed for buttery smooth virtual reality performance and clear resolution compared to older headsets. The Valve Index even had a controller that was capable of tracking all your individual finger movements. It could even detect how hard or how soft you were gripping the controllers, which allowed for the game developers to implement stuff like crushing a rock by squeezing the controller hard enough, which added into the immersion immensely. Later on in 2020, we got the newest addition to the Oculus lineup, the Oculus Quest 2. This was made during the time Oculus was bought by Facebook and was renamed to the Meta Quest. This headset, unlike the Quest 1, which was capable of up to 72 Hz, which was later updated to 90 Hz right before the Quest 2 was teased, had up to 120 Hz at 2K resolution per eye. And due to Facebook buying Oculus, it was even more accessible to the public for just $300 for the 64GB version and $400 for the 256 version. However, there was obviously a catch. To make up for the immense obvious loss of money for the Quest, you had to have a Facebook account to even use it. It was pretty weird. It was a pretty weird concept that they could maintain this low price for a Facebook account. This is a whole separate story of its own. Right now, virtual reality is actually in a very advanced state. We got games that can be controlled through brainwaves. However, these are still prototypes and are not being fully consumer friendly with the prices. We even have full body tracking to detect not just head and hand movements, but hips and leg movement. We also have haptic feedback suits so you can literally feel raindrops across your body in VR. We got haptic feedback that makes it seem like you're holding an object in real life when you're not, and much, much more. So what's left for the future? For the future of virtual reality, lots can be done involving movement, touch, and even smell. The more efficient way of movement would require the use of more inside-out tracking for the headset. Inside-out tracking is a method of positional tracking for VR. Another way for movement would be the use of omnidimensional treadmills. Only issue with this would be both the price and the size of it. The current price is no less than $2,000 and isn't fully available. With inside-out tracking, motion would be detectable in the headset itself. Other innovations of VR have been the introduction of actual smell. As of right now, it is in its early stages of development, but the main premise would have tubes or different liquids combining to develop that specific smell. The issue of this would be that the company that did implement this was banned shortly after because the usage of these smells were the equivalent to vaping. So now developers have to research new ways to implement smell. And for touch, it can range into a few sections, those being the uses of haptic gloves or remotes. For haptic gloves, you would be able to get a full range feel of everything, to being able to feel the texture of a wall or to the ability to adjust your grip of certain objects. The same can be said about the actual controllers. So what now? We've definitely come a long way for entertainment and with advancing the technology for it. There is still a lot of room for improvement, but once the time comes, it will be something. Now it's just up for our imaginations.